How's it going? It's going great because it's Friday. Yeah, which means another weekly update. My name is Annie. I am Joy-Filled Stitcher. I am Joy-Filled Stitcher both here on YouTube on my Flosstube channel as well as on Instagram. So if you are an Instagrammer, head on over there because sometimes I post pictures and things. And this is weekly update number 30. I'm in my 30s. I'm a 30-something now. And it is Friday, December the 6th. We are in December, like well within December. So, I hope everybody has had a great week. If you are new here, welcome. This is my channel where I talk about all things cross stitch. We talk a lot about what I've been working on. We talk a lot about what I plan to work on because I am a planner. I have a paper planner. I have a planner up here. I plan. And I also sometimes have a plan and it fails. It is what it is. Also talk a little bit about stash. The never-ending cycle of stash. And yeah, and kind of who I've been watching, what I've been doing, a little life updates always thrown in there. And so if you are new to my channel, if this is your first time here, which I know there are a few of you that said on my last video that you were a first-time viewer, so welcome. I know that some of you found me from the incredible Erin 2 Martini Stitcher. She and I were separated at birth. We fully believe that. As evidenced by projects we are both working on without having ever talked about it. Purchasing the same project bags, having basically the same taste in everything, and just being incredibly awesome folks, because she is incredibly awesome. I am happy to be her faraway friend until I can head on up to the Pacific Northwest, because don't come to Texas in the summer. Come sometime, but not in the summer. It's too hot. As evidenced by most of my Flosstube teens and 20s was, it's still hot, it's still 100. So now we're in this like of weather. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about weather. To those of you who are returning, who have been with me for a very long time, thanks so much. Thanks for hanging around with me. Thanks for listening to all my ramblings. This one will probably be another long one. I got a lot of projects to show. I worked on a lot of different things this week. But I'm going to try to speed it up because the uploading times have become insane. We have really good Wi-Fi. So I don't know, and I do upload in HD. So I may have to look at decreasing my file size, doing some editing and creating a smaller file. I don't know. I'm going to have to investigate because 6+ hours to upload a 1-hour video makes me sad. I also have to come up with a place to put all the videos that are currently being stored on the iPad that is recording this one, because I have the feeling any day now it's going to go storage full, and I'm afraid it's going to do it in the middle of a video. So I'm going to work through that. So I have my trusty Flosstube notebook. This is, I have discussed this in previous videos. This is Amanda May of Art Designs, different paper notebooks for different functions within the kind of hobby of cross stitch. This is a Flosstube and Stitch, and she explains it as being like a journal you could use while you're watching Flosstube, being enabled, writing down wish lists, things like that. I purchased it because I loved her graphics on the front of all the different like types of thread collections, thread things, and I love this hand-drawn quality. It is a grid notebook, and I realized after seeing it was Michelle Garrett over on Michelle Bindi Stitchy. She had talked about how she had like a little traveler's notebook that she wrote her little show notes in, and that she was coming to the end and needed a new one, and I was like, that is the perfect thing for this. So I started this with my October 25th episode. So this was Flosstube number 24. So each week, as I'm working through my week, I have just kind of little headings put in here. I won't go into much detail, but I keep up with what I've been working on, things I might want to share with you, little life updates as things happen, like if I have a Quippy something, a little bit of my plans. Sometimes that goes off the hinges, and then any stash that I've acquired. So my pages get kind of full. So love these. I have linked them in previous videos. She sells them on Amazon. I think if you just search Art of Design, you can find them. I'll gladly put a link below, but it will be in an affiliate link, just so long as you're cool with that. So let's talk a little bit about life updates. So the last time we spoke, that was a chaotic video. If you made it through all the mini interruptions and all the mini kicking of the tribe, like all of that, you're awesome. I did mention my 500 subscriber celebration. There are 3 giveaways going on, and I will conduct the drawings for those next week. So if you, for some reason, skipped that video, go back, watch it. There are 3 different giveaways. You need to comment on that video. I will not take comments on this video, and I will really not discuss what they are because I want you to go back. I need them all in one place. The planner and me needs all those comments in one place. And some of y'all are fantastic because not only did you comment like that you were excited about the giveaways, the things that I was going to share with you, but some of you were like super encouraging. And that's the one thing, is always the comments make me feel really fulfilled. So thank you for that. This week was rough. This week I kind of like, granted, my stitchy bug doesn't die for long, but it was gone early this week. It was coming off of a well-fought finish on Saturday, and then Sunday I literally felt like I did not sit down for like more than a few seconds, and then Monday I literally did not put a stitch into anything. It was that one of those kind of days. And so reading your comments, seeing how many people were viewing it and enjoying it and just being so positive was fantastic. Okay, so I had to take a phone call, the contents of which I'm going to share with you because only in my world. That was my mom, who has Joy-Filled Little One. They're in the car. They're running secret Christmas errands before she spends the night. And so I'm on speaker in the car. And my mom says, "Can you please clarify a definition for me?" I'm like, okay. She says, "What is it called when you have a string in the waist of your pants that when you pull it, it holds them up?" I'm like, "Is this your question?" I said, "A drawstring." And you hear my daughter in the backseat go, "No, that's suspenders." And I said, "No, suspenders go over your shoulders and connect the back of your pants to the front of your pants and hold them up." She goes, "No, okay, but that's what we're talking about." And then you hear my mom go, "No, that's not what we were talking about." So they're having a conversation about drawstring versus suspenders. She goes, "Well, they both hold your pants up." And I said, in her defense, that she's right on. And in that vein, a belt also goes in that. Those all hold your pants up from showing your hiney crack. Only in my world. All right, so back what I was saying. Giveaways. Go back to Flosstube number 29. Check them out there. So when we last talked last week, we were at a crazy video. Lots of things going on. Lots of interruptions, lots of hacking, coughing, lots of everything. That's just sometimes life. Most Friday nights are very chill. That was not a chill Friday night, but that's okay. So we went and did the Polar Express experience, which was super, super fun. We stayed at a friend's fishing lodge, and she had it all set up with like Christmas decorations, a beautiful tree. She had crafts for the girls to do. It was my daughter and one of her friends. And we went and hung out in the town, and then that afternoon we hung around the house. They did their crafts. We had dinner, a fried chicken dinner, which was delicious. And then we got ready and drove to where the train was. It's actually the old Texas Star train that they turned into a whole Polar Express experience. And we were in the first class car. There's presidential car, first class car, regular car. It's a beautiful experience no matter what. We were in the first class car, and so we're sitting. Now, mind you, going, because you go out and you come back, and it's about an hour total. Going, I was sitting backwards, and I thought, oh, this isn't going to work. I was like, Okay, so then we go out, super fun. They're like, oh, if we shout Santa, 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 he will come on the train. He came on the train. And he goes, oh, Merry Christmas. And he goes, the first gift of Christmas. And he hands my daughter, joy-filled little one, beautiful little silver bell. And then he hands one out to everybody else in the car. And her face, I will not forget it. I will not. She was like, I mean, just in awe that this Santa looked like the Coca-Cola Santa. Like the Santa. Beautiful silver bell. They had hot chocolate on the train. The people are dancing in the aisles and singing the songs. They know the whole of the book, and they narrate these big giant picture books. And it's an amazing experience. It was such a good time. We had such a good time. We did go a little antiquing, and then we came back, went to bed. That next morning, we got up, we had breakfast, we did one little activity, and then we hit the road. It's about a 2-hour drive. Got home, whirlwind. Monday, whirlwind. We were back at school and work, and then I had some work for my part-time job. I am a part-time accountant, so I had some work to do for that. I literally, between that and laundry, I literally went to bed at 9:30 and did not put a stitch in. And so I was behind the 8 ball on homework and all of that this week. So, back to work and school. Somebody posted a funny meme that said that the weeks between Thanksgiving and Christmas is like that last round of Mario Kart where the music gets all real fast and it seems like everything's frantic. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm spinning right now. A lot on my list to do. We leave for New York City the day after Christmas, so and we don't even get out of school until the 20th. So it's going to be like whirlwind, and then when we return back from New York City on the 30th, then I can relax until I go back on the 6th. So I had some starts this week. I had some finishes this week. I had a lot of whips this week. I had some stash this week. I've been thinking about some plans, and I have some other really awesome things to share with you. So I think we're going to start with the finish. So with that, I'm going to pause and kind of get myself set up, and I will be back with my finish. Who knows what lives in this pouch? I do. What lives in this pouch is a finish, and it's a finish of mine. So if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen this. I am insanely proud of this. This is stitched on a 36 count piece of Little Dove by XG Designs. It is incredible fabric to stitch on. If you have not had an opportunity to get some of Jukis's beautiful linens, I have not tried any of her Ada's or her other than her threads that she sent. I have not tried any of them, but quality is superb. It is stitched with 5 colors of Gentle Arts or Classic Colorworks, and that is Squirrel Welcome. So Flossie and Gertie are finished in their precious acorn hats. They are stitched in mulberry. Their tails are sarsaparilla. Their hats and the top of this acorn are in old oak tree. And then old oak tree is also the 2 beaded borders. This border is grasshopper. And then this is Classic Colorworks Wild Berry. It is finished. It is not fully finished because I have not decided, but I have already taken the cover photo. I did that. The photo that I posted on Instagram is going to be the cover photo of my chart, which will be in a PDF format on Etsy. It will be available. It will go live next Friday. I am choosing to not, actually, no, I'm sorry, next Saturday. I am choosing to not release it even though it will be ready before then until next Saturday because I promised last week that the person who wins the squirrel giveaway would get the first copy. And so I want to make good on that and hopefully get their copy emailed out before it goes live in my Etsy shop. Now, if I don't hear back from them before it goes live on Saturday, then they will get it in the same vein, within the same kind of time period. So that is a finish. That is another finish checked off my list. It was technically a finish in November. And with that, I will share my November stats at the end of this video. So if you're not into numbers and all of that, you can peace out after stash. So let's talk about a little bit more of what I worked on. So just kind of in order of how I worked on it. This week, I chose to make my lunchtime stitching project, my Noah's Christmas Arc Crocs. This is by Plum Street Samplers. Will be stitching all of these on 36 count. Okay, I say all of them, but I'm starting to think maybe I'm gonna swap in some other fabrics. But the first two that I've done, which was Noah's Welcome Mat and Noah's Crocs, which Noah's Welcome Mat did not get fully finished. And Noah's Crocs are on 36 count Stars Hollow Blend by R&R. So I have gotten as far as I can get because I realized I do not have a color of DMC that this requires. So this is in a Be Crafty bags. I use a Bitzy Bob from That's So Kelly to hold my DMCs. I am stitching this in the called for DMCs. And this is where I am so far. So the color that I need is for the water down here. But I love it. And you know how I talked about last week, I think the only one that's going to have the checkerboard border is the Welcome Mat. I have decided that that is actually the case. This, which is my finish from last week, will be the only one that has the checkerboard. I like just the solid charcoal box. And it needs it because like those snowballs definitely like bump up against the edges every now and again. So I got some time in that and I love it. Such a fun stitch. Such a fun stitch. And I've since gone ahead and gotten 2, 3, I think there's one that is coming that they had on, that was on sale when 123 Stitch did a sale. I ordered actually, I think 5 and 6, but one is not going to be here till the end of December. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to get to them anytime soon, but I wanted to go ahead and snag them up. Okay. So then I started on Sunday. I know that's kind of out of order. I started on Sunday my Advent stitch. I had talked about how I wanted to spend 30 minutes a day on this project. I have done close to 30 minutes, but with not stitching anything on Monday, it isn't had as much as I wanted it to. This lives in a Garonne Totten bag. This is another one of the Batbird. It's a Batbird. It was an oops. It was from the Winter Quakers, and it was considered an oops. I have that pouch. There's a backstory on it that I sewed upside down, and my daughter called them Batbirds, and so they were studying bats at the time. And so I love Batbirds. I love things that are unique and different, and so I'm going with it. This is My Big Toe Designs Prince of Peace. It is a beautiful chart. This is the first time I'm showing it with any of the stitching. It is in 2 colors only. I am stitching it in one of the called for, and then I swapped in another one. So let me show you. It is in Gentle Arts. This is the one that is called for, Deep Forest. So it's this kind of gray green. The other one is stuck under the Q-snap. And then it called for Weathered Barn, I think. Well, I chose to go a little more pink red, and I'm going to use Briar Rose. And this is on a incredibly beautiful, this has sold me on Under the Sea Fabrics linens. This is on a piece of 36 count Under the Sea Fabrics in autumn. I am so happy I bought double what I needed because this is an insanely beautiful piece of fabric. I have this on my 8 by 11 Q-snap, and I have it with an 11 by 11 Grime Guard from Garonne Totten bags. And so far I have Mighty God, and this is going to be, this is the tail of the F for Wonderful. And I love this. It's so pretty. And the lettering is just, it's so unique. I love it. It's made me love My Big Toe Designs. In fact, I know I talked last week about how my New Year New Start is going to be, or one of my New Year New Starts is going to be that piece. Excuse me. Great is thy faithfulness. Thank you to who, I can't remember who it was that said that I had a lovely voice. You are precious to me. Thank you so much. Oh, Grown Totten Bags, because I've got the bag and the Grime Guard, are on Facebook. Amazing group. Amazing group. I heard about them through Erin, 2 Martini Stitcher, and I have since fallen in love. I love their Grime Guards. They are chunky. I've got some in my stash to share. They're thicker. They're wider. And I love their bags. This envelope closure. Awesome. So there's that. I also had another new start on Sunday. I am working through, or will be working through, I don't have a picture. I suppose I could pull one up real quick. I am working through Heartstring Samplery's Advent Candle Ornaments. It is a fairly new design, I believe. I love it. I had to switch up how I was thinking I was going to stitch them. I am stitching it on a piece of 40 count. Let me see if I can, it looks like I can pull up the picture if my drive does not crash. This lives in a Diddly Daddle Designs bag. This is the in-hand stitcher size, so it's a little bit smaller. It does fit my 6x8 Q-snap very well. I like this size. I like the big bags too, but I like this size if I'm not going to be using a big, so this is the Advent Candles ornament set. So as you can see, they're these really pretty small ornaments. She stitches them also on a 40 count. And they have the little Advent candles on the side and the words for each week. Let's get my color back the right way. So I'm stitching these on 40 count. I'm looking at my 40 count mallow linen, fabric. I believe it's Witchelt. In the called for flosses. And I started the first week and used it for a task this week for Enchanted Stitching. I think it was a Christmas stitch. And so I picked to work on this. And so I have started Hope. It has 1 more candle to go and then 2.5 more pieces of greenery. So the way that I worked the letters first, and then I usually would come down, and these are 2 shades of green, DMC. And I was trying to do like 1 shade all the way around, but what I found is with the 40 count, I was having a hard time. Granted, I tried to do this later in the evening. I think my eyes go a little more like crisscrossy applesaucy in the evenings, and I have great lighting. I have a great light. My eyes are great normally. This has a terrible crease in it. It's not showing well at all. So what I decided to do is I went back and I recalculated it with my total number of stitches. And instead of getting all the greenery all the way around, I stitched it as they came. So I wasn't trying to count super far distances because that was, and as you can see, they're going to be, this was a 9x13 piece and I thought I was going to need 1 for each. No, they're tiny. They're tiny and delicate and I love it. And I'm obsessed with 40 count and 36 count. I love how teeny, tiny, adorable the stitches are. So my goal would be to finish this before, not fully finish it, but finish it before Sunday because I'd like to start the second one for the second week of Advent. We shall see. Plans can change. So then I started it on my homework. I used this one for both a Magical Stitches and an Enchanted Stitching challenge. So for Magical Stitches, I don't remember. I know there's penalty stitches, and for a couple of them I was like, I'll just do the 150 instead of 100 because I was already doing 250 for each of my ones for Enchanted Stitching. Erin is working through this one, 2 Martini Stitcher and Amy Loves Toads, and I asked if they had a hashtag for it because I would like to join in on their fun sal because I'm working through it. This is Plum Street Samplers Gobble Gob. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Picture This Plus in Oaken. This also lives in a small in-hand stitcher bag from Diddly Daddle Designs. I love her little covered button that looks like a little mackerel. Yum, yum, yum. With the little vintage scissors. I am stitching this predominantly in the called for. I did swap in some classic colorworks for Weeks Die Works. I do not like Weeks Die Works. We've discussed this before. It's just not my favorite. Now, if it calls for a Weeks Die Works that cannot be swapped in and look like it's intended, and I'm not trying to do a full color conversion, then yes, I will use the Weeks Die Works. So I got a fair amount. I started this on Thanksgiving, so I think I showed it in my last video, and I had like a part of a bottom turkey's body. I now have pretty much the entire bottom turkey done. I think he needs the whites of his eyes. And then I've got the second turkey started. This is such a fun stitch. It really is. But I already know the amount of color changes that are coming. Because the turkeys are the not super like color changing part. But all the flowers and the hillside, I'm excited about it. I think this is a fun... Apparently Siri decided she needed to try to figure out what I was saying. So yeah, I'm enjoying this. This is going to be another wonky one. Another bunker one. Okay. I'm trying to go fast, and I think that's when I run into issues. But I really don't want this to be over an hour, or even an hour. I'd love it for it to be less. Okay, so for one of the tasks of Enchanted Stitching, it was something about a toy. Yeah. And I said I was going to stitch on my Letters from Nora. This is Nora Corbett's V Fairy, because I said I felt like she reminded me of those, you know, the flutter wing fairies that when you pull the little string, they go, that it reminded me of that. This is for my daughter. I'm doing a complete color conversion. This lives in a project bag that I bought off of somebody on Instagram. I don't remember. I don't know. But I think it's cute. It holds my daughter's project. She loves it. And this is on a piece of 18 count Opal Ada. It's an unnamed, and it's from Mystic Fabrics. I do link Misty's Facebook group and website. Website is for her named fabrics. Facebook group is for when she does fabric games on Sundays. I know she is taking a break for a bit. She's right now filling orders for from grab bags. And from mystery boxes. So I put some in the outline of her dress, and I did all of this skin and all of this skin. And this is my first foray into fractional stitches, and I will say, more power to y'all doing all the amazing mirabilias and these, and I wish I would have known about linen, but at this point I'm making do. And the skin matches the fabric, but it does have back stitching, and so I'm going to make sure that the back stitching helps that pop out a little bit more. I've not decided yet if I'm going to actually do the beading. That will be the last thing that I do, or if I'm just going to make those stitches in a metallic. I do know that my metallic will likely not be Krynic. It will either be Petite Treasure Braid or DMC Etoile. I don't know that yet. I want to get all the regular stitching done first, and then I will, which I think is coming sooner than I would like. And then I think I will likely, I need to look and see, because I think the pattern tells you a little bit more about when you should do your back stitching, like if it coincides with some of the beading. I need to investigate that, because I think some of the wings might be done in Krynic. I need to spend some time looking at that. All right, so we saw the end of November, which means my temperature quilt comes out. This is a freebie pattern that I found at the beginning of last year when I kind of jumped right back in and was like, ooh, a temperature chart. That's cool. From an Instagrammer by the handle @HettyRuckert, and I will link her Instagram below. I also, in a previous video, have linked, I think last month, and I'll do it again. I link the actual blog post that has this. It is a freebie. She's an incredible designer. She has an Etsy shop, but this is still free on her blog. And so this was her mock-up that she showed. So it starts in the center, and it works around in concentric squares. And I am using a color chart that I found off of Pinterest, I think, or something. And I think I linked the blog that I also found that on. So, November was bonkers. No, October was drunk, go home. November might also be drunk and needs to go home as well. So, December, oh my gosh, December. It is December now, but this I was stitching November. So November started somewhere up in here. And we had some really cold, like these were January temps in here in February when it was really cold. We had some really challengingly cold days. Like this purple was like 39 for the high. 39! And then we had some 70s and 80s. So this is kind of my bonkers section where we got from like, this was October. Drunk. The weather, Mother Nature, be drinking all day long in Texas. No, I'm just kidding. That was, I've taken it too far, I think now. If not, oh well. This is on a piece of 18 count opalescent Ada. I think I just purchased this off of like 1, 2, 3 Stitch or something. I truly don't remember. I have December left and then it will be complete and it will be 2019. So I have left, though I've discussed this before, the A, C, and the V. I have left those blank because I have a rainbow floss that kind of encompasses these colors that will be stitched for my initials. And then somewhere in this outside border, I am going to chart Fort Worth, which is where I'm from, and the year 2019. Because this repeat continues to here, or to here, something like that. And then it goes into some like Smyrna crosses and some others. And then like the 28th is the whole, so it goes around once more for December. Or maybe no, I lied. December goes to like here. And then it's like the 28th goes one way, 29th, 30th, and 31st. So like the 28th is one whole side, whatever color that is. The 29th is one whole side. And that's how you get it complete. This lives in a pouch of my creating. And now it's on the floor. I promise I've done this 29 times before this. Hey, who, randomly, anybody interested in maybe a whip parade of what is continuing on into 2020? Maybe? Sometime? It'd be like towards the end of December. Maybe like a whip parade? Just a thought. Alright, so then I put some time into Hoity Toity for both Enchanted Stitching Challenges and Magical Stitches. This lives in my Kindred Stitcher Designs bag that I got off of Instagram. I was lucky enough to snag. It has these beautiful hydrangeas and raspberries. It's gorgeous. I love her little zipper fob that has a safety pin with these fun vintage buttons that match. Awesome. Big bag. I mean, it's a big bag and has some pretty like hydrangea looking fabric. This is stitched. This holds Hoity Toity by Long Dog Samplers. This is my epic project, my multi-year project. I'd love to say it would be done by the end of 2020, but I'm just pushing for a page finish. And mind you, this first page like goes to here and to like here. That isn't even getting into all this tapestry and down here and this tapestry. Like, we'll see. We'll see how far I get before I kind of make some judgment calls about that. I am stitching this in the incredible Mrs. Sados Silks. It is her conversion of the palette. She sells this as a set on her website. I will link it below. It is an incredible value for these silks. Her silks smell like birthday cake. They are incredible to work with. They do not shred. I have stitched with some silks. I won't share whose that do shred. And these don't. These don't. Now, I cut them into smaller lengths, and that is traditionally what I do with all my silks that I've worked with, is I cut them into shorter lengths. I normally go with, like, DMC and stuff, I'll go with a yard length or close to a yard length, or same with Gentle Arts, things like that. My silks, I go with more like 18 to 24, something like that. All right, so this is on a piece of 18 count Picture This Plus in Legacy. And so I put in a little, like 280 stitches. Really, this entire bit of black got filled in. This is the page edge. I have gone through the shaded section a bit with these two leaves. So this is really page line. I don't know that there's anything else right here. I don't remember here. And I feel like there's a big bird coming here, and then there's going to be more black to fill in. So my goal on this is to hit page 1 finish by midnight, December 31st, 2020. We shall see, because this is not going to New York with me. So we will see how that comes along. This one lives on an 8 by 11 Q snap. I do not take it off because it just works that way. It just works. All right, so then I used Rosetta, Ink Circles Rosetta, for a task in Magical Stitches. Where's my cover photo? Oh, goodness. I'm getting a fraud alert on my watch. And I got another one. And it's for like an account that has like literally $6 in it. So I'm going to have to call on that. This is Ink Circles Rosetta. This is an incredible pattern. It reminds me of stained glass. I am stitching this on a piece of Mystic Fabrics 20 count Aida in Snert. I am using now one strand. It is an opalescent fabric. I am now using one strand of floss, and I am doing my own. There's my pretty picture. There it is. This was stitched all in one Gloriana, I believe. I have chosen to do a rainbow of my favorite Gentle Arts, with the entire outside border being done in Gentle Arts Cinders, which, Carla, Rolodex. It is literally one of my most favorite colors. And it's in that other chart that I showed the kitting up of last week. And I need you to check your package well. That was a wink. I'm not a good winker, but that was a wink. That was not an eye spasm. That was a wink. So check your package well when it comes from the D-Stash. Love ya. Have fun stitching. Yeah, okay, I just need to stop. So here's where I got to. I put in some more into this motif. Sorry, I'm carrying my border. So last week I had worked a little bit in this border and this beautiful cross detail. This is my first medallion. This was in Verdigris. All the border is in Cinders. This is in Dragonfly. And so we're going to kind of start with these browns and green, like brown combos. And then we're going to move into some greens and teals. And then we're going to go all the way till we get to like pink. I'm excited. I was telling somebody when I posted a status update on this on Instagram, how I feel like this is going to be a project that while it's epic and it's going to take me a long time, each time I pull it out, it's fresh and new because each one of these motifs is different. These motifs are all different. And not only are they different in the sense of the color is different, but they're different in style. I mean, Tracy is a genius. It's a gorgeous pattern. My church has a beautiful stained glass rose window, and these kind of remind me of that. So I'm really excited about this piece. It's going to be huge. It's going to be epic. I've got these two big epic pieces. That's why I'm hesitant to start any other epic pieces. But I've got some other ones that are in my kitted selections. So that is Ink Circles Rosetta. I'm making sure I'm not missing anything. I'm kind of saving new starts other than those first two to the end because you may be saying, wait a minute, weren't you going to start some Barbara Anna's? Yes, you are correct. And I am about to get there. After I show you one other new start. So this one lives in a hand dyed by Slovak Farms pouch. I got this one. This was bag of the month. This is the 9x9 size. I will not be ordering anymore because it doesn't quite hold my 6x8 Q-snap, and I don't really need any other big bags, so I will stick with my diddly daddle. So I was going to start my piece on Earth Chalk, but I needed a project that was easier to see, plus I already have the other chalk. So last week, you will remember, I talked about how I am going to be working on, where's my cover image? Are you in here? No, you're not. Okay, I'm going to be working on this. Is a Hands-On Designs. Kathy Haberman, I love everything you do. And this was from the 2017 issue of Cross Stitch. No, just Cross Stitch Ornament issue. And it's the Joy. I am stitching this on the called for color in fabric, but it's like, it called for 28. I'm doing 32 count. And it's Picture This Plus in Phoenix. And I did a conversion of the Weeks Dye Works to Classic Colorworks, but they look like identical within reason. So this is what I have so far. Woo, it's bright. This is a fun stitch. I mean, it is going like lightning. I think I put in 103 in like 30 minutes last night. And I'm enjoying it. It's going to be fun. I think I'm going to get some of that fun the Lady Dot Creates pom-pom, the tiny pom-pom. They have some in a bright green, and I think that could be cute. I'm going to wait and see because it's got bright green, like a turquoisey teal, a white, and a bright pink. I know it's kind of a cool palette on this red fabric. It's kind of genius. Because like when you look at it, all you see is the white, but then when you look closer, you're like, ooh, there's pink and turquoise and all the goodness. Okay, so now let's get to Barbara Anna's. So, Epic Barbara Anna Start Month, which leads up into some 2020 plans. So I'm calling it BAM. Barbara Anna Maniac, whatever. But what it kind of is going to lead into is Barbara Anna Monday. So like at the beginning of the year, I'm going to start on Mondays having a stitching time just for my Barbara Anna pieces. And I have a tiny decisions wheel, and I'll spin it on Mondays, and that'll be the project I work on until it's complete. And then I have a bingo board. It's a 9-square bingo board. And as I complete them, I'll get to color them in. And then when I have a bingo, I can buy myself a project bag. So I have since spun twice. So the first spin this weekend, I was so excited this got spun, and I promise I didn't cheat. This was the actual first spin. And then I made the mistake of not repeating. So it spun it again today. And this is Barbara Anna's Autumn Keeper. I love her. I love her. So I have come up with a name for her. You may want to know what it is. Anybody? I think Barbara Anna's designs are just quirky and clever enough that they need like AKA. So this is Autumn Keeper, AKA Augusta. So her name is Augusta. Augusta, the Autumn Keeper. And I think she's adorable. She has acorns and a crow and a key. And it's like she turns on autumn. I love it because autumn's like my favorite. And I am stitching this on a piece of 40 count XG Designs in Little Bunny. And it is in the called for DMC. Look at those tiny, tiny, tiny little stitches. I love them. So that is the beginnings of her dress. I did not get much in. I got, I think, like about 100 stitches. But I am going to put some more time into this weekend. I enjoy it. That's why it's still on the Q-Snap. Now today I spun, and I had to spin a couple of times because Autumn Keeper kept coming up. I'm like, I've already started it. So I had to reset my wheel. And I actually spun one that is... So here's the deal. I had 9, remember? And I showed you my 9. But then she went and released this. Santa's Flight. Michelle Bindi showed this. I had already purchased it. And she does Tiny Rider Sal with Amy Baruch. And I'm like, can I be part of that? Am I cool enough to be part of Tiny Rider Sal? Because I've got quite a number that are all tiny riders, which is tiny people riding on big animals. So I love this. Thing is, I want to stitch this one on the called for fabric, so I've ordered it. It will be here on Monday. Well, the problem is it spun this one, and I was like, I want to start it, but I don't have the fabric. So I had to spin again, and I had to reset my wheel again, which meant then I got Autumn Keeper a couple of times. So then I finally spun, and I'm excited about this one, Holy Night. So I think this is adorable. This was in the 2019, just this season's Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. So this was in this most recent release. I get the digital copy, and I am going to re-sign up. I don't have much, let's be honest. This is on an 18 count piece of Country Mocha, Ada. I got this from, who did a D-stash? Julie of Gulf Coast Stitches did a D-stash of some of her fabrics. And this was a piece that was in that D-stash. I think. I maybe made that up. But, I love it. No, that is not what this is from. I don't know. I've had it. It's an 18 count Country Mocha. And so I have this cute little tree that's in the middle. This will get some more time in it. Depending upon what my night looks like. Maybe tonight. So I've got those two Barbara Annas. Alright, so. Wow, that was a lot of whips. That was a lot of whips. let me clean up a bit, and then we'll come back with some plans. Right, so I'm back. I realized something fell off. Well, it's because I didn't have my bucket off to this side. So I was continuing to stack things over here. So I took a minute to like discombobulate everything and get my bucket over here, which means now stash is going to go over here. But first, we're going to talk a little bit about plans. So I have been contemplating, as crazy as this sounds, because we're just at the beginning of December, what 2020 is going to look like for me. So if you're not real super interested in hearing about plans, that's how my brain works. I'm not fully planned out, but I do have some kind of things in my thought process. So I do know that in the foreseeable future, Barbara Anna's bingo is going to keep going on. I think I have 3 next week. So I have 3, 4, and 5 next week. My pulls for 3, 4, and 5. I also know that I really want to start that My Big Toe ornament, the one The Savior is Born, the one that has cinders in it also. That gorgeous, oh, that palette is amazing. I know I would like to start that next week because I don't have any ornaments. And so having some smaller things is awesome. Those are great to have as lunchtime stitching as well. This month, I am going to continue with School of Magical Stitches. I am continuing with Enchanted Stitching Challenges. This month it is the Santa Claus. I'm excited because my daughter's not ever watched that movie, and I think she might enjoy it. And so that'll be fun to get some credit for watching that with her. Looking forward, though, into 2020, I know that I am not going to do the reboot of School of Magical Stitches. I enjoyed the Harry Potter year. I petered out on reading big time over the summer, and it never picked back up, and that's okay. I really enjoy all of the stitching to a challenge. I love that. I love also that Enchanted Stitching has different tiers of participation. So if I have a really, like, granted, once I started Royal last month, I could not, like, let myself not get Royal. I need to let that go a little bit. I am pushing for Royal this month, but I also know that with traveling to New York, that just may not happen. So I like that there's different levels of participation. So if I have a really crazy, chaotic week and I don't get a lot of stitching in, I don't have to beat myself up and be like, oh, I didn't contribute this week. I can still contribute, but at a much lower level. So I love that. I love that each month is a different movie. We're revisiting some movies I haven't seen in a while. So I'm loving that so far. I also started yesterday. I watched Cheryl of Tranquil Stitches video, and I'll link it below, where she talked about how she's going to stitch her hours, and she is doing a hashtag stitch my hours, and I love this. So basically what it is you calculate, and there's a website that does it for you, because believe me, I did not have the math power to do that. I am a mathematician in my brain on good days, not to do this kind of math. You basically calculate how many hours you have been alive from the day you were born until whatever date you're calculating on. So yesterday. So I have been alive 343,128 hours as of yesterday, December 5th. And I was born at 12:33 a.m. So I'm counting that as a full day, full 24 hours that day. So I'm going to start tracking how many stitches I do. I will do a stitch for every hour that I have been alive. And so it's going to continue to accumulate because I'm getting older. Every hour I'm getting older. But I think that's a fun little way, a little numbers thing. I love that idea. She even talked about how, oh, well, I can look at, well, where am I right now? Like if I think I've stitched like 800 hours. Okay, well, what does that equate to? And where would that be in my life cycle, so to speak? So I like that idea. I encourage you, if that's something you love to track stitches, it's a very personal connection. Everybody's number will be different unless you are born on the same date as someone else. So yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to. Now, in terms of January, so I've got my trusty handy dandy notebook. My notebook is evolving and I love it. So I have my whip list in the front. This is my 2019 whip list. And you can see I highlight when they're done. There's my finish list. So I'm loving this function at the front. And then I have a plan section for December. I have my December monthly, which looks very different than my November. My November, once it got going, it has a lot of highlighting. It had some finishes and some starts and things like that. But I'm excited because I've already kind of got some things, some thoughts going. So I know that I would like to start Prairie Schoolers Prairie Birds on the 31st. So I'm going to do a small ornaments. I am going to have 2 New Year, New Starts. One is going to be Great Is Thy Faithfulness, and the other one is a super secret project that I'm not going to share yet. I'm going to do Barbara Anna Mondays. So bam. Barbara Anna Mondays. Bam. I'm going to do 6 months of focus on a finish. So next year I will be focusing on a finish in January, February, June, July, and September and November. They're just the months I chose. It made sense to me. I'm coming off of October, November, December with a lot of starts. And so I need January and February to be focus. I am going to do a Whip Go board. I loved how Jessie Marie started the Whip Go board. I am going to do one again. I will redraw for 2020. And those will equate. I haven't decided exactly yet, but I feel like those will equate to big new starts. I will have a couple of new starts throughout the year. Like I know for a fact, I would like to do a new start for Leap Day, February 29th. I'm also curious if there's going to be some kind of a Stitch 9 this year, because I was on the late end of Stitch 9, and I didn't even have 9 whips for a while. I now have more than 9 whips. Barbara Anna's Mondays will be for project bags, Stitch My Hours. And I already know that for a fact, Focus on a Finish January will be my temperature quilt. Will get finished in January. I would love to have V Fairy finished before my daughter's birthday at the end of January. And then I would like to get Quilting Bee finished. That is my oldest current whip. And I believe I started that in April. Oldest current whip is Temperature Quilt, but I don't consider that the oldest because I don't have enough information to finish it. Like, I won't know how to finish that until the high on December 31st. So I'm really kind of excited about forward thinking a little bit, but I'm not like, okay, I for sure am starting this on this date, because I have found that sometimes best laid plans. Sometimes I have changed my mind, and that's okay. So I think where we'll go next is stash. So last weekend, we went, like I said, we went on the Polar Express experience. We went and we shopped at some little antique shops. And this one precious little antique shop, you walk in, and it is like each little section as you walk has a different Christmas tree, fully decorated with things that go along with that. So that's the whole thing. Bottom floor. And then there's the part towards the back that's like more tchotchke-ish and like some cool vintagey stuff and some cool antiques. And then there's an upstairs, which is only open certain days. And it was open the day we went. Well, my mom went upstairs with my daughter. And they were like, and my mom came back downstairs. She's like, there's nothing worth going up there for. And so they were up towards the front. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go upstairs. Because just because she says there's nothing doesn't mean that I'm going to say there's nothing. So I was looking around. I saw a really cool, like, old tray, like a cutlery tray. And I thought, ooh, that could be cool for some small finishes. And I was like, maybe, maybe not. And so I kind of kept it, you know, put it back. And then I was looking and I saw they have beautiful old books. They had old sheet music. They had so many things. In fact, Cheryl McKinney would probably love all of the paper things that they had, because I know she loves to use those in her junk journals. And so I happened to, I just pulled it off the bed. These need a little bit of loving care before they can be used for their intended purpose. But I could not pass them up. They were a little spendy, but they're antique. I would spend probably the same amount for one of these new that I got 2 of them. So I was looking and I did a double take and I went, what? And I found these vintage, they're calling them Pantry Boxes, but they're beautiful, like shaker boxes. Look at that. And in fact, it looks like somebody's like drawn on the top. And so there's not one, but there are. I'm trying to be careful with them. It's a pantry box set is what this is called. And there's a little smaller one, a baby one. And this one doesn't have as much, like, it's a little smaller. It's a little squattier. It definitely has some water damage, like it's been in a pantry. But I will tell you, this was such a fun find because, look, you can even see. I love them because I would love to do a finish of a cross stitch and mount it. And so when I showed my husband, he's like, oh, it has so much water damage. And I was like, do you not know what I'm going to do with these? And he's like, no. And I was like, think. Get your brain power going. He goes, oh, you're going to, and I said, yes, I'm going to put a cross stitch on top. And he goes, that's so cool. And I was like, I know. And so I also showed him how expensive some of these are new, which they're beautifully crafted. They are worth every penny. But I was so excited to find. Now this one needs some help. This banding is coming loose. They need some help. They are living in my craft closet, away from little small hands, and big man hands. Like, so that was a find. I'm not going to share how much I spent on them, but they were a little spendy, but well worth it because, like, they have, I don't know the story, but there is a story with those, and I love that. Okay, so speaking of stories, anybody want a little story time? So I randomly, like, over Thanksgiving, got a shipment notification from Trisha at 3L Threads. And I was like, what did I order? What did I order in my sleep? And so then I got, like, you know, I get the informed daily digest from USPS, so I kind of know what's coming. And so I saw, like, oh, there's this package coming in the next couple of days. And I went and I was like, oh, that's that. Okay. I still didn't know what I bought. I was like, okay, I'm buying things in my sleep. Because I actually have in my regular planner, like, an order tracker. Because I'm like that. I need to know where it is. Has it arrived? Whatever. So yesterday I arrive home and find, and I've sequestered this to a bag. I find a package from Trisha that's in one of these. Which, if this isn't the biggest joke, we care. Do you really care? When this is what your package looks like, do you really care? No, you don't care. And then they had some nonsense to say mail delayed due to missing or incorrect zip code, city, and or state name. By the way, my entire full physical address is on here, including the 4-digit zip code, like that's after the zip code, not the zip code. Is it called zip code? Yeah, zip code. Area code is phone number, but whatever. And I still didn't know what I had ordered. But I did know this much. I was not happy with the U.S. Postal Service. You don't care when this is what it looks like. It's clearly had water damage. I mean, so I opened it up and realized this isn't my order. It is somebody else's Thread of the Month order. Bless their hearts. Look at this packing slip. It's like, so I had the worst thought in my mind when, first of all, this is the package and what it looks like. And that was probably my address. If you want to send me something, there's my address. I'm just kidding. That is nasty of me. Just rewind. Packing slip. So I don't have high hopes for the items that are in here. But I realized this is not my order. So I did go ahead and pull out. This was the bag. And I was like, oh, please. Because this is somebody's Dinky Dies monthly subscription. They're fine. They are in good condition, I believe. They might have gotten a little wet, but they're not worse for the wear. Okay? And then this was the other bag, which has a, like, Puma rip through it. I mean, thankfully, these are also in good working condition. Mind you, this was the first month of the Gentle Art subscription, which I missed by a month, because I will start getting it this month. And so I took pictures of all of this U.S. Postal Service nonsense, and I sent it to Trisha. And I said, Trisha, I got somebody else's order. It is okay, even though this package looks ridiculous. I sequestered it, like I said, in the gallon-size baggie. And I said, hey, tell me Do you want me to send it back to you, or do you want me to send it to the person it's supposed to go to? There wasn't an address on the invoice, or I would have just gone ahead and done it. And so she got back to me and she said, no wonder I was short. She says, I have no idea what happened. She goes, I don't know how somebody else's could then be sent to you. She said, but no need to send it on. I've already resent the one that went missing, or the one that was never sent. And so you can keep it. I always say, like, I could not be more surprised by the amazingness of this community and the merchants that work within this community. But I am consistently surprised. Trisha's amazing. Like, I obviously am signing back up for her nest egg. I had to stop for a little bit. It was financial reasons. I am signing back up because I think it's important for me, if I'm going to be designing and using the flosses, to have Gentle Arts and Classic Colorworks. So I am going to go ahead. They are starting back up. I did say in my email, you know, too bad, because this is the first month of Gentle Arts and I missed it by a month. And I said, haha, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm not expecting to keep it. So she has said I could keep it. And so my response back was, okay, please let me throw some money back to you, because this is money out of your pocket. And she's like, no, sometimes things just don't go right. And today you were the winner. And I was like, what? So I'm going to find out from her. I did respond back and say, because I'm keeping the Gentle Arts, but I'm not a Dinky Dye gal. And so I'm going to see if she will let me do them as a giveaway. So, I won't do it until I hear from her, and it may be like down the road a little bit, but I'm going to keep these to give as a giveaway because they're beautiful colors. So Trisha, you are a stellar, stellar human being. You are amazing. I will continue to throw money at you because you are an incredible human. And I know that from all the amazing people that shout you out on the daily. So that's a little story time. All right, so what else do we got? Oh, we got some Grime Guards. This past weekend, Garone Totten Bags posted Grime Guards, and I was in need of some to fit some of my 8x11 Q snaps. I use the 11x11s on my 8x11s because I find I like them to not be super, super snug. They don't fall off. Like, they fit wonderfully, and even with all the bunchy fabric. So I did pick up... These are crinkly. So I'm just going to show you. I picked up this one that's pink with some cute little like fairies on it. Sewing fairies, I think. This one's going to be for Tranquil Tulips, which is my Heaven and Earth design. So I got that one. I picked up this one that's kind of like medieval, and it has like a sword and some other cool stuff. It says like magic, but I liked it because it looked like stained glass window print. So this is going to be for Rosetta. I got me a Grime Guard for Rosetta. And then I needed one for Hoity Toity. And Hoity Toity has a whole slew of red birds. So I got this one with these pretty red cardinals. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ronnie and Gary. Y'all are amazing. Y'all always have the best positive energy in your group. Again, I will link them below. I love your products. I will continue to buy. I am on the wait list for Bag of the Month. I am hopeful for Bag of the Month sometime soon. All right, I ordered from Crazy Annie Stitchings quite some time ago, and she was very apologetic and said, hey, I just saw that you had claimed this. Let me get it out to you. This was a exclusive to them. I think they still have some. Maybe check. I'll link. It's a Facebook group called Crazy Annie's Crazy Stitchers. They do lots of pre-orders, they have clubs, they have lots of different things going on. Plus Annie, you know, I'm Annie, she's Annie. So this is a Heartstring Samplery, and this is Ding Dong Merrily on High ornament set. And I think it is adorable. I love in the movie Little Women, where they sing Ding Dong Merrily on High, heaven and bells are ringing. Anyway, that reminds me of that, and that's one of my favorite movies to watch around Christmas time. And so I thought that was a cute little chart, and I can't pass up anything that Beth designs. She's incredible. All right, then I went a little bonkers, and I think I mentioned this last week that I was going to order some more fabrics from 123 Stitch. I think I even alluded to the fact that I had gotten some Midnight. I love it. So this is a 40 count Midnight. This is from Lakeside Linens. Long Dog Stitcher, I think, showed this. Now, I might be wrong, but I think she showed this and I could not resist. I am a huge fan of anything navy. I love navy blue. All right, so then I also, while I was in there, grabbed this 40 count. This is Morning Dove. It is a super, super, super light blue gray. I mean, super light blue gray. This is a 40 count light exemplar. You see a theme? 40 counts. I love their 40 count. This is Vintage Pearled Barley. I know that Nicole over at Nicole's Needlework loves Lakeside. I can see why. I think this is gorgeous. Got to find the right thing to stitch it on. This is Vintage Wild Rose. Look how pretty that pale pink is. And that is way washing that out. It's so pretty. I love it. And then I got this for a project. I'm not really sure what it's for. I know it's for a start or a something. I have it written down what it is. But this is a 36 count light mocha. This was a 13 by 18 piece. And then I got some more. I needed 2 more of the 40 count Mallow. I have 2 of these, which would be enough to stitch 4 of the Advent candle ornaments. I ended up getting 2 more. I was confused. I don't know what I was thinking. So anyway, I've got an extra one. But this is that 40 count Mallow linen. These were on a steal. A steal. This whole thing. Because I ended up grabbing, this is for the super secret project. This is more of that 40 count Mallow linen. This is an 18 by 27 inch piece. And I want to say I got this piece. This is a big piece too. I want to say it's like 10 bucks. That was a deal. I love me some 1-2-3 Stitch. I am hopeful. That's on my Christmas list. Is some 1-2-3 Stitch gift cards. I've told everyone of my family, which is not very many, but I've told them I would love 1-2-3 Stitch gift cards. They would last me for a minute. I think I'm getting one for my sister-in-law who stitches though. Okay, so then I happen to be in the right place at the right time when Diana, it is Kismet Stitches, posted in her Facebook group bags. So I got 2 Diana bags. I got a half-size Diana bag. I love this. This fits like a Plum Street, which is awesome. And it has these funny little birds and pumpkins. So I will figure out what's going to go in here. But it's so cute, and I couldn't resist. I wanted a half-size one. And I even love how, like, the little wheat, or like little feathers. It kind of reminds me of the Gobble Gob feathers. In fact, Gobble Gob may move into here, and something else may move into that primitive, neat scissors one. That might work. And I could not resist. I wasn't going to buy a full-size bag, but when I saw this, I was like, yes. Gorgeous. So this is the front. It's a William Morris print. Is that not incredibly beautiful? Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I love William Morris almost as much as I love Liberty of London. Liberty of London is my, like, #1 jam. Love it, love it, love it. So I got this one. I don't know what's going in it yet, but I will find something because I've got a bunch of projects in Ziploc bags. All right, so then I was on Stash Unload, and you know, like when somebody posts patterns I've never seen, I buy them. So I know that they're the good housewife are hard to come by because they are not in print anymore. Am I correct? I think so. So I saw these and I snatched them up. So this is called Birds in the Bower. And I love it. I love all these little funky little birds. And it says, "Sweet bird, they bower is ever. Thou hast no sorrow in they." Something. "Green, thy sky is ever clear. Song, no winter in thy year." I'm not sure what that says exactly. I will clarify what that says, and if I'm wrong, I will tell you. And then this one is called Ellen Birdseye. And again, those birds and the little Quaker square. I think that's so cute. And it says, "All of my scattering moments are taken up with my needle." And I love that. It's a little stitchy one. So cute. And it says Ellen Birdseye 1821. So cute. So yeah, got those off Stash Unload. All right, so then I ordered these. These were ordered a while ago, but they just came in because these were not ready to ship. I got some more project bags from So Much to Love. I love this one. This is just I feel like this is a good kind of simple, not simple, but like it's not specific to any one project. I just liked it. Pretty. And it's got red and white polka dot on the inside, and then the cute little red heart zipper pull and the little lacy trim. So I got that one. And then I have a fabric similar to this in a pouch, and I think it's a Cafe Fawcett or Calf Facet. I'm saying it completely wrong, but whatever. And I could not resist. Look at that. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, those flowers. And it's turquoise, which is like my favorite. And the jumbo turquoise rickrack. And then inside we've got purple gingham. I think there is some more of these left. I think both of these. And I want to say that one, the red one, was like on a sale price. Love it. I will link below. So Much to Love. And then she posted a bag of the month. I think she still has at least one of these. Maybe. We'll see. This was the November bag of the month. And I am not in the bag club, but I think she had extras. Gorgeous, right? Well, when you are in the bag of the month club, you also get other goodies. So there's a bag, Crinkle Crinkle. And in this bag, there is a hands-on design chart that says thankful. Love it. And it has the cute little pins and the ribbon. It has a coaster. This is from Kogan's Creations, and it's a super cute little crocheted leaf coaster. And it has also, I'm so excited, it has 2 Victorian Mottos exclusive, Autumn Harvest and Glorious Orange. Love. They're 10 yard skeins, not the 20. And then it also came with a delicious like salted caramel tea. All of her things come with a tea. And I think it's cool that she uses Stash brand tea. The irony is not lost on me. Alrighty, folks. We're over an hour. I'm fairly certain of that. But I still want to share my November stats. So, if you are not a numbers person, not interested in stats, not interested in what all I stitched, like how many numbers I stitched and all those fun things, I wish you a wonderful stitchy week ahead. I will see you next Friday. I will be doing the drawings for the giveaways next week. So if you have not had an opportunity to head back over to number 29 and put in your little comments with the words I asked you to put, do so you can win something maybe. Anywho, also, if you have purchased from the D-Stash, if you were one of the few who have purchased, not few, quite a number of folks that have purchased from the D-Stash, everything was shipped by Tuesday morning. So those should be on their way to you. I hope you enjoy your goodies. I tried to pack them with love and care. Hopefully the U.S. Postal Service does not treat them in the same respect that they did Trisha's package. I will be not too pleased because I did my best. Also, I will be having some more things coming, probably towards the new year. I will have to get back on break from school, I think, again, before I will have some more goodies to post up there. But I do have some things still available. So go check it out if you have not been over to my D-Stash. It is on Instagram. It is linked below. I know some people don't do Instagram. I'm sorry. That is where I'm doing my D-Stash. Maybe open an account just so you can see what's going on over there. It's fun to look at pictures. Be a little enabled over there too. All right, so here's my stats. The stats. So November by the numbers. I did a total of 13,381 stitches. I think that might be my best month. I'm not sure. Finishes and FFOs. I had 7 finishes and 4 of those were FFO'd. So I finished HL Moth and FFO'd it. I finished Spring Acorns and did an FFO. Carrot Forest was also an FFO. Grateful, Thankful, Blessed was FFO'd. I did not write down the other ones, but I also finished, because I wrote them down, The Little House Needleworks Believe, which that is on its way to Kathy as well. And I finished Noah's Welcome Mat and Squirrelly Welcome. So those were all finished, not all FFO'd. I did UFO 5 projects this month. I think some of them were at the very beginning of the month. I don't really chat about that. For the most part, the fabric that could be salvaged was salvaged. The flosses just went back in my stash, and some of the patterns have been destashed to a loving home. Okay, so starts/restarts. So I started Grateful, Thankful, Blessed, which was that Heartstring Samplery that has been finished and FFO'd. I started Thankful and Grateful Chalk by Hands On Design. I started Squirrel's Delight by Lucy Beam, which was a punch needle and primitive stitcher pattern. I started Gobble Gob on Thanksgiving Day, and then I also started the Stitchonomy Winter Sal, which you will notice is absent. That is because I have fallen off the Sal wagon once more, and it has run over me. I've seen so many unique ways that people are stitching it that I think I'm going to go back and reevaluate my choices, because I think it's fun and I want to do it, but I want to do it justice. And right now I'm not liking it very much. So I think I will probably reassess and see what that happens with. And then I had a restart, but I've actually gone past where I was on Plum Street Sampler's Harvest Delivery. I did a fabric, rethink of fabric. I worked on a total of 21 different projects. I was in Magical Stitches Year 7. I did Enchanted Stitching Challenges for Coco, and as far as I know, I hit Royal level, which meant I had 250 stitches in all of my tasks. I finished my 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic. I participated briefly in our 9 entries for Semi Sane Stitchers Stitchopoly, and I participated in the Hoity Toity Silky Sal hashtag, the Squirrel Sal hashtag, and that was a fun one, and I hope it continues on. I know I have other projects with squirrels in them. And then I also did hashtag Focus on a Finish, which is my hashtag, which will continue on throughout the coming year. So with that, I think we are maybe done. And we are maybe at well over an hour. So for that, I apologize unless you love watching full-fledged Flosstube movies. You're going to get one. Hopefully it will not take insanely long to upload. I hope that you have a great stitching week ahead. I will see you next Friday on the 14th with some giveaways, more stuff to share, and maybe less projects. I need to become a little more monogamous in my stitching and get some stuff accomplished. Although I have like 5 new starts next week. Okay, 4 new starts next week. Anyway, with that, I will leave you, and I hope you have a great week. Bye, everybody.